You are now watching the It's Reese Live. You feel me?
007 James Bond, the wear suit and a tie.
This is Jaleel Smith Riley, who is facing charges for murder in Michigan. Smith Riley was involved in an armed robbery on November 16th, 2013 in Norwood, where he and two other men approached a parked car. Inside the parked car was 20-year-old Portia Brooks and her boyfriend, Aaron Martin. Smith Riley knocked on the window with a handgun and forced Martin, who was in the passenger seat, out of the car. Jaleel then proceeded to go through Aaron's pockets and demanded his cash. Once Jaleel had taken every dollar Aaron had, he then took his life with a to the head, causing permanent brain damage. However, Jaleel wasn't done there. Right after shooting Aaron, he then leaned into the car and shot Brooks, who was sitting in the car, twice.
For what?
And she died 3 days later. Fortunately, Martin survived the but sustained serious injury. Before the judge announced the sentence that Jaleel would be facing, Portia's family got the chance to address the jury and the man who took their daughter away from them. Sharon Brooks, Portia's mother, brought the box containing her daughter's ashes to the courtroom, as she had for previous court dates. She stated that Smith Riley had ruined her life and killed her identity as a mother of three.
This is what I have left because of his greed, his selfishness, his complete disregard of and disrespect of others and life. But as you can see, I get nothing back except the reality that she is gone.
I don't get how they gonna fast forward what she's saying about her daughter as if she was rambling. Like, we need to speed this up for the video. Why y'all gonna put that in there if you...
Marie Brooks, Portia's sister, also spoke emotionally and requested that Smith Riley be handed the maximum sentence.
I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
Then, Aaron, who Jaleel shot in the head, spoke to the court.
She's still here with us, and she will always be here. So she's our angel looking over us, helping us get through these hard times.
As if Smith Riley's crime was not outrageous enough, his reaction to his sentence was even more dramatic. During the trial on August 11th, 2021, Smith Riley pleaded guilty to aggravated and attempted. However, he later decided to withdraw his guilty plea against the advice of his attorneys.
From the beginning, this was an emotional day for the families of both of these victims, but when Smith Riley decided to reverse his plea halfway through the sentencing hearing, they were shocked, and his attorneys were too, in part because it puts the death penalty back on the table.
Prior to receiving his sentence, Jaleel was heard apologizing in court as what appeared to be a last attempt at showing remorse.
Sorry. This is what I come up.
Additionally, Jaleel's attorney made a final attempt at saving face.
And he knows that he can't go back in time and undo what he did.
Despite the tears and the apologies, Judge Charles Kubicki, presiding over the case in Hamilton County Common Pleas Court, denied Smith Riley's request and sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
There you go.
The 23-year-old monster that is currently rotting behind bars collapsed to the floor of the courtroom.
Dumbass, how you gonna collapse after two people?
The 23-year-old monster that is currently rotting behind bars.
Look at this. How you gonna make that face? Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Oh, I need a second chance. Look at his dumb
collapsed to the floor of the courtroom upon receiving his sentence. Smith Riley also received an additional sentence of 11 years for a related attempted murder charge. However bad you think Smith Riley's case was, it can't be compared to the infamous case of TJ Lane.
Why is he wearing a t-shirt that say killer?
This is TJ Lane, who
He looked young.
is facing charges for multiple murders in Ohio. TJ Lane was a convicted American murderer who gained notoriety after committing a horrific crime at Chardon High School in Ohio.
I don't like how they said he gained notoriety, like as if he getting famous off of this.
On February 27th, 2012, the Ohio Police Department responded to multiple calls from teachers and students that there was an active in the building.
High school, we had fired guns.
That boy weak with dreads. And for the rest of his life he gonna get his cheeks spread LTZ smirk.
High school, we need police up here. There's someone in the building with a gun.
According to police reports, Lane entered the school and headed to the cafeteria. It was here that TJ Lane opened fire and killed 3 students and severely injured 3 others. 6 people got physically harmed at the hands of TJ Lane that day, but hundreds...
No way, man. That's wicked. That's wicked. I don't know what be going on in America. I don't know what the fuck be going on.
People left Chardon High School on February 27, 2012, with intangible pain that will last through eternity.
Glances of your friends laying all over the place. There's people screaming. Everybody's running in different directions, and you're just trying to get out.
I saw a kid holding a gun pointed towards a group of kids.
Do you remember the look on the gunman's face?
I never looked at his face. I just looked at the gun. I still can't think about it all because it's just so scary.
Lane's actions sent shockwaves through the community. He was swiftly apprehended.
Why is he smiling?
And charged with 3 counts of aggravated, 2 counts of attempted aggravated, and 1 count of felonious assault. As if the murder were not bad enough, Lane showed no remorse for his actions at the trial and refused to cooperate with his attorneys. Instead, he appeared in court wearing a t-shirt with the word killer written on it, and even gave the middle finger to the victims' families.
What in the world?
During the sentencing hearing, Lane made a shocking statement.
Saying to pull the trigger, masturbates to memory.
Man, he is insane. Put him under the jail. This guy needs to go somewhere.
The statement caused outrage and disgust, not only among the families of the victims, but also across the entire nation. The judge presiding over the case, Judge David Fury, described Lane's behavior as heinous, unprovoked, and senseless, and sentenced him to 3 life sentences in prison without parole. Lane didn't even bat an eyelid when he heard his sentence. He remained emotionless and unremorseful. Lane's behavior and reactions were likened to that of a psychopath. However, not every convict remained emotionless after hearing their sentence, like in the case of Ryan Stone. This is Ryan Stone, who is facing charges for going on a crime splurge throughout the nation, including kidnapping and assault. The chase began after Stone hijacked a car with a 4-year-old boy inside and drove off, leading police on a dangerous pursuit that lasted more than an hour. During the chase, Stone drove up to 100 miles per hour and was reckless in every regard of the word. However, he was quickly apprehended by police and placed in a holding cell. As if Stone's actions weren't bad enough, he was caught on tape boasting about his actions to a
Look at that picture.
Friend who visited him in the cell.
Hey, did you know I made the news in the UK and Australia? What? Yeah, my lawyer told me I made the news in the UK and Australia.
Why is that what you're talking about with your lawyer? What the hell was the lawyer doing? Yeah, I just saw you on the news in UK and America. What? Why would you even tell him?
Grand Theft Auto on YouTube, my shit comes up first.
I swear to goodness.
Ryan also believed that he should be
Who is this girl? She should be arrested for talking to his dumbass and laughing.
compensated for his viral car chase because the news channels are using his car chase footage.
I'm going to contact Channel 7 News or have you contact Channel 7 News or somebody. You guys aren't getting paid using my name.
Stone was charged with 26 crimes involving kidnapping, motor vehicle theft, assault, and eluding police. Stone's sentencing hearing was emotional. In court, many of his victims and their families can be heard speaking about the impact of his crimes on their lives. Some spoke of physical injuries they had sustained in the crash. Stone spoke at the hearing. He cried, expressed remorse for his actions, and
You were just laughing on the phone.
Apologized to his victims. Isn't it ironic that in the same week, Ryan was captured in the video on the left laughing and boasting about his crimes, and on the other video on the right, he's seen crying.
How is this in the same week? His hairstyle is totally different. Where he get hair from in a week? Oh, Reese, you bald. You wouldn't know about that. Shut up. I already know what y'all typing. This is serious and y'all playing around.
And begging for sympathy from the court, as he finally realized the severity of his actions. Despite his apology, the judge in the case was unmoved, noting that Stone had shown a pattern of criminal behavior and that he posed a threat to society. The judge handed down the maximum sentence possible. Stone pleaded guilty to all charges and was sentenced to 160 years in prison without the possibility of parole. Stone was in tears when he learned he'd spend the rest of his life in prison. Stone...
Ay, caramba. He was talking about, oh, y'all can find a way to get paid off my name. Nope, you're not even gonna be able to use your name ever again. You are now police numbers. Whatever his numbers is, that's his name now. You orange jumpsuit man. They strip you of your name and identity and you're just police custody.
This wasn't the only time a convict got a sentence that felt like justice. There was the case of
Okay, Chad, I don't need to see that. That man got a manslaughter mask on, like he be eating people. No, we not watching that footage. Jeez.